Guruganeshabhyam Namaha. There is something really great about our scriptures. Every single theory is well validated. Every single principle is validated. They don't just give arbitrary rules and say that do this, you will go to heaven. If you see procedural books, it may be limited to that. But then if you want to go deeper, then you will see serious effort in validating everything. For example, if you take Kalpa books, then you will see only procedure. But if you want to see the validation, you should refer to Purva Mimamsa books. Our Acharyas wanted proof for everything, even existence of God. That is what they wanted proof for before everything else, that God is there. Only if there is God, then there is relevance to the rest of it. So they first proved that there is God. They will not accept one method. They want proof through multiple methods. Then only they will agree. The primary darshanas or philosophies, they will debate among themselves and find lacunae in each other's method of proving that there is God. So much of thought goes into everything. I would say we can blindly go with what our acharyas have said unless you want to reinvent the wheel. They have done everything and come to conclusions. One thing you have to be clear about. Scientific knowledge, or what we consider as modern means of knowledge, is not incorrect knowledge. It is only incomplete knowledge. The problem is in the approach. The scientific approach is to compartmentalize, isolate. But spiritual knowledge is the whole picture. So if you see a conflict between spirituality and science, then the problem is in what you have understood as spiritual knowledge. Incomplete knowledge has to be part of complete knowledge. Incomplete knowledge is only a small piece of complete knowledge. They should not contradict each other. There is a painting. I am a chemist or chemical engineer who is concerned about the paint, the color used in making that painting. I am only concerned about its composition, materials used, its properties, how to improve its quality. I don't understand anything about art, the artistic value. That doesn't mean that in the painting as a whole, whatever I do has no relevance. In the painting, there is artistic side, there is material side. There may be a commercial side. All these when added together become the painting. So if you are confident that spiritual knowledge is complete knowledge, then it has to include material knowledge as well. Scientific knowledge as well. Material knowledge or scientific knowledge cannot be separate and away from spiritual knowledge. The natures of these both may look apparently different. There is a bus. There is a seat inside the bus. The bus moves. But the seat is fixed with reference to the bus as a whole. That doesn't mean that the seat is not part of the bus or that the seat doesn't move. When the bus moves, seat also moves. Scientific knowledge is incomplete knowledge. Science has just begun. Spirituality already has everything in it, including science. Scientists are not our enemies. We don't say that they are wrong. We only say learn more. Before that, don't take a stand. That only we are right, what we say only is right. Our spiritual knowledge, whatever science has discovered, that is already part of our spiritual knowledge. So the division itself is wrong, that spirituality is supernatural and science is natural. Science is part of spirituality. Science is a small part of spirituality and included in spiritual knowledge. This has to be clear in the mind. So if you take knowledge that is mantra shastra, then it has to be validated by authentic and correct scientific knowledge also. Otherwise mantra shastra cannot be valid. If it doesn't stand the test of science, then mantra shastra will not be valid. The difference is that for mantra shastra to be valid, it has to stand the test of not only science, so many other branches of knowledge also. It has to be validated by so many other branches of knowledge also. Like a 10th standard student appearing for a board exam. He or she cannot just clear one paper and say that I have passed. There are multiple papers, multiple subjects. You have to clear all of them. Then only you can say that you have passed. There is only one problem here. What if the scientific postulate itself is wrong? They keep on changing, they keep on falling. It is a young branch of knowledge, like a young boy learning cycling. When you learn cycling, falling is natural. But science has a false pretension That is one problem with scientific people. I am not talking about the real scientific people. They are the most wonderful kind of people who understand the scope and limitations of what they are doing. They are the most humble people you can find on earth. I am talking about those people who don't understand science and talk about science. Those who see a new feature on a mobile phone are flabbergasted and think technology is the whole life. But under pressure, even people who are involved in science and technology, they have to make so many compromises. Even if they fail flat on their face, slip and fall flat on their face, they would say, I'm just trying to inspect the ground. They have so many things to cover up. They don't have the liberty to accept a failure. Because scientific knowledge today is commercially driven. If the grant has to come, then you have to cover up so many things. This is because science has created an impression that no, we can't fail, we are without fault. Now they have become victims of this themselves. This is a compulsion of science because it is commercially driven. Only because it is commercially driven. Because they have to justify cost to their bosses. Spiritual knowledge has no such compulsions, no such deadlines. Success and failure are accepted with equanimity in the spiritual spectrum. Failure is not inferior to success in spirituality. The aim of spirituality is not maximization of success and minimization of failure. Spirituality integrates both. So what we are saying is that if mantra shastra is valid, then it has to satisfy the principles of modern science also, provided the scientific principles you are looking for are correct. We will explore this more and more as we proceed. Harihi Om.